Hi, I'm Dr. Nadine Wong. Would you like to know the expression of a man? Well, join me on the Now Talk Show. The Now Talk Show is an intimate conversation with men to highlight the pivotal awakening from his past that has brought him from trials into triumph into the now. The Now Talk Show will be sponsored by the Alabaster Wellness Clinic. Please stay tuned.
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, where you are today. I thank you so very much for joining us on another section of the Now Talk Show. I am your host, Dr. Nadine Wong. I would like to I'm just so excited about this interview that we're about to have. We have another distinguished gentleman, and his bio is so impressive, like all the great men before. His name is Mr. Hector Johnson. Mr. Hector Johnson, we invite you to come on the Now Talk Show so we can hear your expression. Mr. Johnson, please come forward. Mr. Johnson, Mr. Hector Johnson,
Hello.
how are you? Can you hear me clearly,
I'm
Mr.
fine,
Johnson?
thank you. Thank you for the invite, Dr. Nadia Wong.
Thank you for accepting the
Say that again,
invitation.
sorry.
Thank you for accepting the invitation. So I read your bio and I'm so excited to just get right into the meat and potato of Hector Johnson's. But before we get into, the storytelling and the yoga, tell us a bit about who is Hector Johnson? Where were you born and how were you raised?
Talk about, you're just cutting in and out for me a bit.
I'm cutting in and out.
Just repeat the end of what you just said in regards to yoga, please.
We would like to know who is Hector Johnson? Where were you born and how were you raised?
The connection, unfortunately, Dr. Wong, most likely is my fault, I'm assuming, but you're cutting in and out. So I know you're asking me a question about uh, being a yogi guide or yoga teacher of sorts, and I
We
just didn't
we
hear the end part of what you asked.
Who are you? Where were you born? Where were you born?
Ah, I heard that part. So I was born, bred, and raised in Port of Spain, Trinidad, and Tobago, or
Okay.
Tobago, depending on what you'd like to
Okay.
say, but it's Trinidad and Tobago. Yeah, in the hills of Laventille, you know. And
What
then
was
I
growing up?
migrated to Canada in 1985, and I
Mhm.
currently uh, dually live here in Trinidad and Tobago about 6 months of the year, and then back in Vancouver.
Back in Vancouver. So what was life like growing up in Trinidad? What were you like as a child? Were you a curious uh, person or were you a studious person?
I was definitely a curious person, asking lots of questions. I loved things like watching stars, stargazing, watching clouds roll by and ponder things. Um, I asked a lot of questions. Um, Very much of a thinker, um, and very much being told that, man, a lot of the things you're asking, a lot of the things you're doing, you're acting like you're older than your age, like you've been here before, which I believe I have. So nice
Okay.
segue on my part. But life, I asked a lot of questions. I was curious. I
Hmm.
loved nature. I
Hmm.
loved animals. We've always had dogs, two of them in the yard.
Okay.
We had cats at one point, and then at one point, my grandmother's like, "That's enough. Cats are too mischievous. You lock away your fish, and it's not going to happen." So
Okay.
One
So
sec. No, not now. Later.
so
Go ahead.
now that you're a grown man,
Hey,
that child, huh? That child
now that I'm a grown
that
man.
was that was that was so curious. Are you able to answer any of those questions on answer question to that young boy? The fact that you're an experienced gentleman
There
today?
is again cracking in and out. I'm assuming the question is, now that I'm a grown man, are the dreams or the intentions of the child still somewhat intact? Is that the direction?
We'll go with that. We'll go with that. I'll nod for yes.
If it is, I'll continue speaking. If not, you'll.
Yeah, please
Yes?
do. Yes, yes.
Okay. It is. It's 2 days ago, right? Mr. Chadwick
Mm,
Boseman. And he was connected uh, by letting us know in a speech he gave the graduating class of Harvard in
mhm.
2018, sorry, uh, about purpose and passion and, and,
Okay.
and, and really having a sense of what that is for one's life and that none of us are here by mistake.
Mhm.
And I truly, wholeheartedly connect with that, you know. Um,
Mhm.
Hold on one second, Dr. Wong and listening audiences. I am helping serve and take care of my 96-year-old grandmother. She just went into the
Okay.
washroom and she needs my help for maybe about 30 seconds to maximum a
Okay,
minute.
that's
And
fine.
that's the reality of she comes first. I love you all, sisters and brothers. I'll be back. I'm coming, Doctor.
So in the meantime, while Mr. Johnson attend to his 96-year-old mother, I'll take the opportunity to say that the Now Talk Show is sponsored by the Alabaster Wellness Clinic, where we specialize in clinical counseling, trichology, and integrative medicine. I am so excited
And I'm
that you took the
back.
time to join us, and he's back, ladies and gentlemen. So
So thanks for your
you were
patience.
sharing with
Yeah,
us.
so purpose and Chadwick Boseman talking at Harvard, thank you, um, to the graduating class in 2018 at Harvard, and about purpose, dharma, one's reason for being. And that is so much still tied into me being alive still at 52,
Mhm.
my 52nd year on the planet. Before I go further, because I want to expound further on that, but I really want our listeners, sisters and brothers on the planet of all skin tonalities, that is ethnicities that we label as races, but that's for another time. Dr. Wong, if you'll have me back. But I want you to really give thought to these following points. So if you remember nothing I say, or nothing as Dr. Wong says from her end of the paradigm, these are the things I think that will serve you best. You need, sisters and brothers of the planet, to operate from faith, not fear, whatever that is for you. Because you need to create daily your spiritual practice out of the mythology that is functional for you in your life. So you want to label it Christianity, Seventh-day Adventist, Buddhism, Hinduism. You want to be agnostic? You want to be atheist? Whatever your labeling is that makes you comfortable, make sure it's functioning in your life and it works. And if it doesn't
Mhm.
work, don't be afraid to investigate and question what that is
Mhm.
so you can continue to flow through a stream of faith and not fear. Because that's going to serve
So,
you big, especially right now with this coronavirus that's going around.
so
So
Miss,
operate from faith, not fear. Second thing, go ahead, Dr. Wong.
no, I'm going to let you finish. I'm going to let you finish. I see where you're going. I'm going to let you finish. Please give us a second point.
Thank you, sister. So you can go back after I just list them off, and then we can expound and you can pull apart and be like, "Ah, ah, 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 ah." So operate from faith, not fear. Second, discover and enjoy breathing. Second,
Mhm.
discover and enjoy
Breathing.
because this life is short. Pack
Okay.
it in like Chadwick Boseman did. Bless the
Mm.
brother. We honor you. Third, practice immunity strengthening life self wellness daily. Practice number 3, immunity strengthening life self wellness daily. And those things can be things like a regular circadian rhythm of sleeping. Whatever time of day you go to bed and whatever time you get up, try to keep it regular, because in the natural laws of the universe, you see birds rise at a certain time of the day and they go down at a certain time of the day. Humans, as we're growing and exploring and thing, we was go to bed all kind of hours, and then we have to take all kind of fake drinks to give us energy to boost. That could get you killed, especially right now with this virus, because it's going to weaken your system. So you want to sleep regularly and whatever that works for you, okay? You want to make sure you're eating real food, people. I'm sorry. Processed food, too much of it, as good as it tastes, your body's going to get very little nutrients out of it. Genetically modified foods, very little nutrients out of it, and it's going to put the rest into toxic waste in your body, which does what? Weakens the immune system. And this respiratory fighting, attacking virus right now called coronavirus, if it catches you, it could kill you. However, if your immune system's strong and it catches you, most likely, as you see with the scientific facts around the world, most people are recovering because their immune systems are stronger. But the ones that are unfortunately dying, our sisters and brothers, are the ones whose immune system was already compromised with diabetes or kidney problems or liver problems. And there's herbs and plants that can fix that with time, right? Continuing, you want to make sure that you're getting moderate exercise. There was a time I did 7 days a week challenge. Now I'm like, I don't need 7. Honestly, I need 2 to 3, 2 to maybe sometimes 4, because it's not about just moving. It's about knowing how to move the breath throughout the body. Continuing, you want to get a nice sweat on with the sunshine. You see that vitamin D, the life-giving force that without the sun, nothing lives? There ain't no chlorophyll coming out of those plants. Ain't no oxygen coming out of plants for them to take our carbon dioxide. So get some sun daily, even if it's just to stand in a window and you just look.
Stick your head out.
Get some sunshine, moderate. Okay? You want to have intentional, focused breathing. What I mean by that, intentionally focusing the breath. I got a kink in the back of my upper left shoulder. I'm going to use the breath. Hold it so the breath can get to the infected area. Release the breath with the intention is whatever the pressure, the issue is in that part of my anatomy, or if it's in the mind, with all the mental stuff going on right now, listen, you start to slow the breath down and get in tune within who you are. Yeah, some nice things can happen. Continuing, you want to think positive thoughts. There's a lot of problems on this planet. A lot of hit with an S before it. Yep. However, if you focus on the glass being half full, there we go. You want it this way. Half full, half empty. Sorry, I just heard myself. You don't want to think of it life being half empty, even though that's a reality. You want to, even though if you're in the half empty reality of your life, you want to see it half full. Where can I go? What choices can I make today that will affect my tomorrow and my next day and so on and so forth? So my present future is being created today by how I think.
Okay.
And that's not about name it and claim it. That's another show.
So
last thing, I'm almost done. Sorry.
Okay, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, please go ahead. Go ahead.
No. Selfless acts of service, karma yoga. You want to, you make some nice food, you bake something, you make a nice drink. Don't keep it all to yourself. Share it with a neighbor. Share it with an enemy. Share it with somebody at work. Take something for the homeless sister or brother or somebody who you think could need a helping hand. You got some extra fruits in your backyard, or you have the money or the wherewithal that you can buy something extra. Take it with somebody else in mind to make their lives better, to make them smile. And almost done, Dr. Wong. Thank you for your patience. You want to have what Dr. Wong and I are having right now, even though we're in different parts of the world. We're connected. We're very much spatially distanced, but definitely we are socially connecting.
That's right.
Right? And you need that from authentic, brothers and sisters in your
That's
life,
right.
whether you're single, whether you have a significant other, whether you live by yourself or you live in a house full of people. You could still be in a house full of people. You could be at a party that's blazing and you still feel lonely. But you can be alone and not be lonely
You're
because you
lonely.
are connected to source and you know
That's
yourself. Dr. Wong, I'm done. I'll repeat it
oh
again
no,
at
no,
the end. Take it
no.
away.
We just got started. We just got started. You ended on the very thing that I'm passionate about. And I always say this,
Wow.
human connection is the most important thing that we can
It
offer
is. It
each
is. It
other.
is.
So the fact that
It
we're
is. A
doing this
kind
and we
word, a
have,
smile, a
and
reassuring
we,
touch. Yeah?
that's, yeah. And we have so many persons who have logged on just for you and I to have this connection, to continue in the interconnectable way. This is amazing. Now, I
Yeah.
want you to share with us when you were being raised in Trinidad. Did you have siblings? Did your parents share the same vibe that you have, or were you the person who had the mastermind as a child and kind of grew into who you are today? Don't leave anything out, please.
The
I love
latter,
it.
the latter. I had, and continue to have in my grandmother at 96 amazing role models. I was raised by my grandparents on my
Mm-hmm.
mother's side of the family,
Mm-hmm.
and then I joined my parents in Toronto, Canada at 16, turning 17.
Okay.
So even though I have dual citizenship in Trinidad and Canada,
Mm-hmm.
and I've spent 2/3 of my life in Canada compared to in Trinidad. I still see my lens and my paradigm shift as a Trinbagonian Canadian, as
Okay.
opposed to a Canadian Trinbagonian.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, the manners maketh man. I learned that from my grandparents. You know,
Mm-hmm.
show me your friends, I tell you who you are.
You got
Right,
it. Mm-hmm.
right.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Prayer is powerful, whatever your faith base is or isn't. The ability for me now to create space in myself and in the world that I am in
Mm-hmm.
daily to then hear and to feel and to sense so I can then interact with you, Dr. Wong, and
Mm-hmm.
interact with the listeners and whoever's
Yes.
seeing us. I can only do that because I take time to, whether some people call it I'm oming, or I'm praying to Jesus, or
Mm-hmm.
whatever, or I'm sitting on a tree or hugging it, whatever your process is in creating the mythology out of your daily spiritual practice that is functional and working for you, you need, whether it's prayer labeling or meditation labeling,
Mm-hmm.
having that space daily is powerful because when you come from that space of source and spatial awareness, nothing
Mm-hmm.
can move you. Nothing can sway you unless you want to be swayed. So
Right.
yes, definitely. Uh, I, I I say this humbly and respectfully because I could be wrong. We're all storytellers at the end of the day, but
Mm-hmm.
in the telling of the story,
Isn't that what history is about?
eh,
His story, his story. All
right?
right, now, so tell
And we need
yours.
more her stories because the
That's
truth of the
right.
matter is, in the way things work,
Mm-hmm.
if 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 we don't have more her stories, then
Mm-hmm.
we are as disconnected as we are presently today because we have lost respect for the feminine. We have lost respect for mother.
Mm-hmm.
You, the woman who is a queen, who is a mother, whether you have children of your own or not, you may be
That's right.
mothering someone or
Mm-hmm.
someone's in other ways because you're stepping into the gap for those who can physically push a child out, but emotionally, mentally, spiritually, they're
Mm-hmm.
disconnected and just doing their life, and the child, children, adults are figuring it out. So then God is universal consciousness, whatever you want to label it, brothers and sisters, shows up in a Dr. Nadia Wong, in a Hector Johnson, in a Rob, in a so forth and so forth, to then step in and bring light and liberty and love into lives and into areas of people and of the planet that it's missing. We've had viruses before. I'm segueing, but it's still connected. But
Mm-hmm.
we're so fearful now of dying. Not to be afraid to die. Because
Mm-hmm.
if you come here to visit, you got to leave. This is not home. Now we can have discussions as to what home is or isn't based on your spiritual or religious perspective ideology. But the truth of the matter is, you come here and you come here to go to school, you come here to grow and to learn through life's experiences and to authentically hold your space and light and say to the world, yo, this is it. Can you handle Hector Johnson? Can you handle Dr. Nadine Wong in all of her 100%ness of what you are currently, including what you were and what you may change into? Because a lot of us, Dr. Wong, are not able to handle you or myself or others because we only want 30% of it or 25% or 40%. That's palatable. The rest were like, no, that's too much stuff for me to deal with. Well, we need to grow up. And that's what this virus is teaching us. This virus is teaching us, yo, make the changes in your life so you can breathe and enjoy it. And in spite of any virus coming at you, your body is designed wondrously, fearfully made and designed to fight anything off.
It's
I'm not saying no
intelligent.
to listening to wearing a mask, wear your mask. Be smart and wash your hands and keep things clean. But by the goodness gracious, please strengthen your immune system. If you remember nothing else I say in this interview, find the herbs and the plants and the foods and the good sleep and moderate exercise and staying away from too much alcohol, too much smoking and too much fast foods. You know what I'm saying? And staying positive, glass half full, right? Do those things to strengthen. And there's some things you should really have in your medicine cabinet. Everyone should have. And maybe if you take my email, I can send that off to people that are interested as well. Right?
Oh,
But
we have your
that's what
link.
we need
We
to
do
do.
have your link.
So yes, I learned a lot growing up. I feel as if I came pre-wired. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying we have your link. So the persons who would like to connect with you, we have your link up that they will reach out to you. So when you were growing up in Toronto, did you have friends?
Dr. Wong.
Hi. Did you hear what I just said? Your link, the information to connect
it's you're literally cracking in and out. So if you just rephrase exactly what you just said at the end, I'll shut up.
I don't want you to shut up. No, shut up.
No, I'm shutting up to listen. Sorry.
I am saying.
So if you can just repeat again, I'm hearing you better now.
I am saying your link for the audience to reach out to you. We have posted it. The link, information to get in touch with you, to connect with you. To connect with you, we have posted your link.
And it has to do with me.
Okay.
Sorry, people.
That's okay. Your link,
you
the
just got better
information.
all of a sudden. I don't know why. So the question again, quickly, I'm listening.
Your link, can you see your link on the screen? We have posted your link.
Yes.
Okay. So persons who would like to.
Oh, yes, I saw it.
That's right. So continue. I asked you if.
Let's just go ahead. I'll remember what I have to say. Go ahead. You asked me.
When you were growing up in Toronto, did you have like-minded friends, or were you the beacon among the group?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So
no man, no woman is an island unto himself or herself.
Right.
We need to use biblical terminology as iron sharpens iron, the countenance of one good friend. I'm adding the word good to it, and then I'm going to further embellish it by calling that good friend a soul friend, which in Celtic means anam cara. So it is he or she or they that keeps the soul of another. They know your secrets, they know your strengths, they know your weaknesses, and he, she, they, even though you may tussle and rub friction against each other, give you space to come into being you without judgment. That's
without judgment. That is the key. That is the key.
And growing up in Toronto, I had some key people, especially between maybe 21, turning 22 till about 33-ish. Yeah, I had some bond, and some of them I'm still close with, some not as close. But when we do connect, it's like no time has been lost. We pick
That's
up from where we were. But those people kept me, and currently some of them still do, and I have some other newly acquired soul friends in different parts of the world,
hmm
that keep my soul. And any hour of the day or night, if there's something I'm going through I can't handle, I can call them. Vice versa. And we
wow.
respond right away, even if we were sleeping or missed the message,
hmm
because we know it's urgent. And to have those types of people that check in on you daily, even though, again, we're spatially like this, Dr. Wong, we connected. You understand? It's like if
hmm
our feet are grounded in the earth and rooted in the earth, and we're getting the nutrients of the goodness of realigning the electrons in our body so we can function at our maximum best. And I've been blessed, trust me, with a bunch of friends, female and male and female, throughout my existence thus far, to call Anam Karas. It's been
Would,
one.
would,
It really has been wonderful. But
would
I've
you
also
hear?
I've also been that to others. So again,
That's
in
important,
terms of
though.
one of the points I talked about in terms of acts of selfless service, karma yoga, I have.
Mhm.
Go ahead.
No, I would like you to finish your point.
Oh, so
Finish.
I'm just saying, yeah. Um, I heard you. In terms, I have
Yeah.
offered selflessly of myself to my friends. I have served them. So I know what it is to wear a nice suit and clean
hmm
up and look GQ, but I
Ah,
know what it is to put on the gloves or have the spray bottle with Clorox and get into the toilet and clean it and get into the yard with the pitchfork and you know what I'm saying, and the spade, and you do what you got to do to make the garden look beautiful and let
so
someone else be the poster girl or poster boy for it.
that's amazing. I'm curious, and I'm sure the audience we are as well. What trials have you overcome, and how did you overcome them?
Time. There's a slew of things I can talk about, um, but I'm going to focus on each of us has something in our life or some things in our lives that
hmm
we are fearful about. And whatever the labeling is from A to Z, I'm learning really doesn't matter. Fear is fear is fear, and there's really nothing to fear but fear itself. A couple of years ago, I'm in a pharmaceutical
hmm
store picking up medication for my grandmother. And I'm
hmm
sitting on a seat, and there's three seats, right? I'm sitting in the middle seat. Two gentlemen come into the store, and my judgment assessment of them is that, you know what, you guys, if you're not homeless, you're definitely on the street a lot. And they came in, and I moved from the middle of the three seats to the furthest seat to the right. And the two
Okay.
gentlemen sat beside me. And as we do in Trinbagonian culture, we just said hello, good afternoon. Actually, it was
hmm
good morning. And they said good morning. And we
hmm
started to talk about the weather and life and blah, 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 blah. And before you knew it, they gifted me. And they gifted me with this thought, Dr. Wong. They said, you know what the problem is in Trinidad and Tobago? I said, what? One of them said, people afraid to death. The day they get over their fear of death is the day things are going to start to change. Because I went, whoa, okay. Second thing to tag it in for you see, coming from fear to death, from fear to faith, sorry. Uh, we have fraternal twins that live in our basement, renting from us, and their mother passed away just over 2 years ago. My grandmother and I, on the day that she died at home, had just returned from church. And as I opened the front gate to come into the house, I saw her son in the yard crying, and to his left was his sister by the side wall to go downstairs where they live bawling. And I looked at him and said, your mom passed, didn't he? He said, yes. I said, we're downstairs? She said, yes. I said, all right. Told my grandmother, got her inside the house upstairs, went downstairs. She was dead in the washroom. But the gift from seeing death that close and that real was I no longer feared the transition of stepping into whatever the other is. That was her gift in leaving. And I was able now to more acutely and wisely utilize my strengths to serve. So when we understand whatever we're going through from A to Z in our lives that is afflicting us through the filter paradigm of fear, and we can shift that internally because we are spending time to know ourselves, with ourselves, by ourselves, for ourselves, which is not being lonely. It's just being alone with you and enjoying what that is. So then when I can enjoy all of this internally and externally, I can introduce it to you, Dr. Wong, in the appropriate manner, to Rob in the appropriate manner, to my other brothers and sisters, my mate, children, whatever the context is. Business, corporate, social time, meet a new person that I never knew, I may never see them again. I know how to hold space and say, yeah, this is what I'm willing to do or not to do based on my journey. So from fear to faith, I would say I learned to just go, I only have so much time left. And since I only have so much time left, and now at 52, I need to more now so than ever, or more so now than ever, show up authentically in my light, in my liberty, in my love, and say to others, you may not agree with it, but I ask you to respect it. And if you don't respect it, namaste, and I have a choice. I can stay in the abuse, or I can then step away and go find a new direction, find someone else who will receive me as part of the tribe, and we have mutual agreement as to how to correlate and co-create and connect. Because we always have choices. We can choose to be fear-based or faith-based, was one of the things I said earlier, right? So once I learned what that was, and that again comes out of however you pray, whatever you believe in, however you connect to that unseen force entity that's around you, in you, above you, beneath you, beside you, through you, whatever you want to label it as and describe it in the telling of your story to others. But when you get to know what that is, nothing moves you because you're not afraid of death. You're not afraid that, because you understand, let me take it from this angle. You understand that there is an entity or a force or forces or a god, as some people label it, or a goddess, or whatever the universal consciousness is, that said, on such and such a date, Dr. Nadine Wong, you were born at this day of this month of this time in this part of the world to these parents. And maybe you agreed to be a part of that, coming into that family to learn things with various strengths, weaknesses, and faults. But the point is, it's that energy, that force, that God is that universal consciousness, Mother Nature, that said, come forth at this time. Until that thing or those things say it's time for you to leave, nothing can take you out. It can try, and it will only succeed based on if you are fearfully allowing yourself to live less than what you really are. But when you understand that you are connected to Source, God, Goddess, universal consciousness, Mother Nature, the ancestors walking with us, then you can say to every energy, which in the Christian world is called spirit, terming, to say, yo, you're not going to bully me. I'm not going to even fight you anymore, because if I'm fighting, there's a tug of war. Right now, I'm living in a certain stratosphere, and I want you, sisters and brothers, to come up and join me and edge me and egg me on to even greater further being truly who I am, and vice versa. But what I will not let you do, to use biblical terminology, is allow you to put my light under some kind of bushel to hide and cover it. Ain't happening no more. But I got from there to here because of doing the work, showing up daily in my life. You understand? Facing myself, whatever those issues are in my tissues that we all have. So the things that we don't talk about too much, the things that when we tell some of our friends and our families about, they're like, no, I don't want to hear about that part of you, Hector, or that part of you, Dr. Wong. I'm not ready to deal with that. I'm not asking you to deal with it. I'm just saying this is what I'm going through. And if you could create space with me, then we can connect real. But if you continue to pretend and just only connect on the 40% or the 20% or 25%, then let's do that and play. But that's not what life is really truly supposed to be about. That's not us being our best. And I'm challenging myself And our sisters and brothers, let's all come up higher. Let's challenge our governments to say, listen, if you can meet and tell us about wearing a mask and spatial social distancing and washing your hands and so forth, or keeping things clean and sterile. Likewise, I want same accountability and transparency and responsibility from you with regards to agriculture, with regards to waste management, with regards to making sure that the technology that you're creating and offering us so that artificial intelligence can come forth is not going to, at a cellular level, be destroying humans that are not as strong. Because you want what's best for me and I want what's best for you, and you're demanding it from me now from this virus and being in lockdown and quarantining and so forth. So I am also saying to you as a citizen of the planet, clean up our waters.
That's
Get rid
right.
of plastic bags. Stop human trafficking of men and women and children. Stop abusing our women as just only objectifying them and selling them as sex slaves and raping them and beating them. Are we crazy? We can't get here but for the queendom and the womb passageway of a woman. I bow at your feet. If there's a god or a goddess to worship, it is in you, Dr. Wong. Because you embody, especially in dark and melanin skin that we label black, you got the Eve gene. Out of you, all of us can come. That
That's
noise you may
right.
have heard is a firecracker that sounds like a scratch bomb because it has gunpowder in it. And this is Independence Day here in Trinidad and Tobago.
Happy
So you
Independence
may
Day
hear
as
talking like that
well.
because young folks that want to do things like that, even though they shouldn't do the loud ones. So
you know, we're
say that
almost
again,
out
please.
of
I didn't hear what
time.
you said.
I said we're almost out of time, and I think it's
So,
fitting.
okay, I'll say this for Philly.
No,
Y'all are getting live
wait.
and interactive with Hector Johnson here in Trinidad and Tobago.
And you're drinking out of a real enamel cup. Let's see what you're
Oh,
drinking from.
I'm drinking my Shilajit tea, which is, it contains 85 minerals that your body needs. You get it
Yes,
out of the Himalayan mountains.
yes,
It can come in a rock form, or it
yes.
also looks like thick molasses, and it smells like shit. But it is so good for the body. It rejuvenates you.
Bitter
It
is
helps you
sweet.
be younger than you are in terms of
Yes,
mobility and agility. It's
yes,
good for the testosterone in men. It's good for fertility women. So that's my tea.
yes.
Warm tea is very good for the body, sisters and brothers. It helps release undigested food in your body, so it can then come out as excrement and not stay in your body as waste. That's why a lot of us sometimes, if we burp a lot, it's gas. We say, "Oh yeah, gas." Yeah, that gas is called undigested food that you've eaten, and it hasn't found a way in the body yet to be
The
broken
escape.
down. So warm
That's
tea.
right.
Good for you.
I'm in love with the enamel cup you're drinking from. That is a classic in the
Oh,
Caribbean.
well, darling, you know, when you're in Trinidad, this is my
I
traveling
love it.
enamel cup. I'm a real Caribbean man. I have my enamel cup. I don't have it here. I left it in Toronto. My parents have. I have my calabash bowl,
Oh,
right? I have my calabash bowl that I was traveling
uh-huh.
with. So,
Oh my
you
goodness.
know, but I love me an
Listen,
enamel cup. It's, I don't think the best thing. So,
they are the best thing to have a warm hug.
so
To
all
have
that's
a
the firecracker things going off.
right. So tell us about the yoga. How did you
Yeah.
get into yoga?
What's that?
You know, breathing is life, right? Breathing is life. So tell us, how did you get into yoga? You have a wealth of knowledge, hours of commitment to in terms of educating yourself how important a breath is to the human body. So let's share with us, how did you get into yoga? What was your first breath like? Let's talk about that.
So what I'm going to try to do, Dr. Wong, because I'm not. Hold on, Dr. Wong. I'm switching rooms because where I was, they were doing more firecrackers on that side, and it's a bit quieter
Okay,
in this room.
that's
So,
okay.
what the question was, what was yoga like for me starting, or how did I get
How did you
into
get
yoga?
started? Your first breath, you know, in yoga, like based on the first experience, which obviously was great. You made it a life commitment. How did you get into yoga to be a yoga instructor?
The gist I'm getting from what you're saying, cutting in and out, is how did I get to where I'm at in terms of wanting to start a yoga business or enjoy
That's
breathing and
correct.
so forth?
Yes, yes,
And if
yes.
I'm wrong, you can just say stop by putting your hand up. Okay. So, thank you. Being born into a Roman Catholic family and then leaving that to become Christian and then leaving Christianity, because for me, the answer is just simply love, unconditional love. Whatever your faith, religious ideology, labeling is, if you can't love without conditions, then your religion, your belief is in vain. Because all of us, no matter where we are in the journey, are lovable. Even those that we label as our enemy, as our foe, is a disconnected soul, sister or brother, that doesn't know better. And they need a brother or sister who is as connected as they're trying to be, to say, I don't care what you do. I'm going to show up every day like the sun rises and sets, like rain falls when it's supposed to, like wind comes, you don't know where it's coming from, but then it goes to where you don't know, but you've had an experience. I'm going to be that unconditional love to myself first and then to others. And that takes work. But as a
Okay.
result of that, then I left Christianity. I was doing a show in Toronto called Lion King, one of the best experiences of my life. I was in the ensemble. I understudied Mufasa, met some great, amazing, talented souls that I'm still connected to in various ways. And that fulfilled another aspect of why I think I'm here in terms of being an artist. But I had to then find ways to go, wait, I have philosophies, I have ideologies, I have perspectives that I want to share with the world, and I want people to question me on, I want to continue to question them on, and so forth, so we can get to brilliance from level to level. And the best way for that was yoga. I'm not big on running. At first, I started to do yoga because I was like, yeah, get healthier, get more flexible, da da da. And the more I did it, I was like, wait a minute, this is answering a lot of questions for me. This is taking me internally through the breath, pranayama, and I'm learning how to use the breath, how to slow it down and connect with my authentic me, face the things in my issues, in my tissues, and go, wait a minute. I got to look at that part of me that I don't like, the part of me that judges others, the part of me that is doubting my own capabilities, the part of me that is going, is anybody going to love me? Well, whether they do or not, I'm going to learn how to love myself.
That's right.
And I'm going to get connected to source, whether you label it God or goddess. So whether my mother did it right or not, or my father did it right or not, or my grandparents, or the community that I was raised in did it right or not to me, I'm going to take this time in this lifetime to invest my energies towards healing, towards fixing myself, towards authentically showing up in my life daily without apology. I'm not going to ram it down anyone's throat, but I'm going to show up because it's why I'm here. I'm going to grow up to show up. I'm going to love myself in order to know myself. And I'm going to know myself in order to love myself. And as a result of that,
Powerful.
like-minded energy will attract to each other, my tribe. And so I can then find the Dr. Wongs and the Robs and the X, Y, and Zs of whatever it is in the alphabet. And we can have amazing experiences, however long or brief, because it will be what? Authentic. And we will be craving that from ourselves and from each other. And then, so when we find the fakeness with others, we'll just be like, you know what? Been there, done that. Love you. Yeah. And then step away. Because we're not even going to try to make it negative. We're just going to allow those people in that stage of the game to figure it out
Figure it out.
by us
Right.
authentically doing what we need to do, which is walking in our liberty, walking in our love, walking in our light. And when we do that without fear, that kind of action, Dr. Wong, automatically liberates other brothers and sisters on the planet when they see you doing you at your best, in your own timing, in your own space.
Right.
Wounded on it, you're still showing up and going, yo, this is me, this is real. It's not as easy today, but I'm showing up So don't get it twisted. Don't take my kindness for weakness.
Weakness.
Don't take my
Yes.
silence for dotishness.
Do it. That's
Like I'm
right.
in with what's happening. Because I'm not talking about it and calling you on your SHIT doesn't mean I don't know what you're trying to do. It just means I'm being like nature. I'm allowing you to do you because I'm doing me. And I'm allowing you not to remove me from my 13th and a half floor living space. That changes
Right.
every now and then, and you don't know where it's at. But you like what you're getting. But you can't control this. I'm not meant to be controlled. You're not meant to be controlled, Dr. Wall. Nobody's supposed to be your boss. You're your own boss. You're a sovereign being on this planet, showing forth your brilliance as you figure it
Wow.
out. And anyone that tries to infringe on that, that's why we're still having problems. And that's why this whole coronavirus thing, where people are talking about, oh, what about if it's the 1% trying to control us? And listen to me, that's half empty perspective. Half full is, to use biblical terminology, what the devil meant for evil, God can turn it around and make for good.
For good.
So
That's
if
right.
people are literally on the planet, which I know they are, because that's why we're still seeing people put their knees in George Floyd's neck and kill Breonna Taylor in her bed and shoot the brother recently, whose name I can't remember, who had his 3 children in the back seat while he was going back to his car and put 7 or 9 bullets in his back as opposed to a
7.
taser. That is because that energy is still pervasive, on the planet, saying, I want to control you, Dr. Wong. I want you to do the thing that makes me look better, and I don't have to put my own work in. No, I got to sweep out my own front yard and backyard and clean the cobwebs in my attic and go under the bed and take things out and get all that dust there. That's my job. I can't source it out to somebody else. That's why there's a personal work each of us needs to do. You can't give it to the housemaid or the pool boy. You need to show up in your life daily.
That's
in spite of how much money you may have or things that may make you rich in terms of tangible things, and you need to get rich in your emotions, get rich in your spirit, get rich in the health of your body, so your immune system is as strong as it should. You need to get rich in the way you treat others, because you know how to treat yourself first. So you won't gossip about another, you won't backbite another, you won't purposely try to put your energy towards trying to make somebody be less than so you could be better than. So you're no longer functioning on a superiority to inferiority complex kind of interactions. That is childish business. When I was a child, I did that. I'm a grown man, as you said to me earlier. You're a grown woman. Even if you were in teenage body, some of us are grown because we are older in spirit and we want better for the planet.
Right.
We want to do what the brother who has gone back home, wherever that is, Mr. Chadwick Boseman, T'Challa, Wakanda forever. We want to embody that excellence in every aspect of our lives from A to Z, right? We don't want to play. And I will return to the kitchen because now it's on this end. See, this is the beauty of life. When things come at you one way, shift.
You can adjust. That's
when
right.
It comes again, you're in the new place that you're in, shift again.
That's right. That's right. But you know what? We're almost out of time.
That's
we have just a few.
Come now you're dwelling, but it can't touch you.
That's right. So I'm going to ask you to give a closing
I think I'm gathering
remark.
we're almost done.
Yes,
and I'm asking for a while. Sorry, I can talk.
Oh no, I love it, and the audience love it as well. Your audience, the audience love it as well. And actually, I'll take a moment just to say that again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much for joining us on the Now Talk Show. The Now Talk Show is sponsored by the Alabaster Wellness Clinic, where we specialize in trichology, integrative medicine, and clinical counseling. Mr. Hector Johnson, we have a few minutes, please. A closing remark.
Let's go into a worthy cause.
Okay, yes, for sure. Give us a powerful or just your final expression from the heart of a man to the nation, to the persons who are listening and will listen as we follow through.
Again, you're cutting in and out. Excuse me, Dr. Wong. So
I'm
I think we're
asking you
wrapping
for,
up, and you were you asking a question? Sorry.
I'm asking you to give a final word from the expression of a man. A final word
Oh, you're saying thank.
from
You're
the
giving
expression.
accolades. You're thanking me.
Well, I would like to thank you again for accepting
Oh, I get
the,
it. Final word. Okay. So
yes.
good. So final word. Recap, sisters and brothers. Operate from faith, not fear. Discover and
Mhm.
enjoy breathing daily. Practice immunity strengthening, life self awareness daily. Those are things like circadian rhythm, sleeping regular, moderate exercise, eating real food, not genetically modified or fake food. Literally, practice silence. Literally, get a nice sweat in the sun. Moderate exercise. Focused, intentional breathing. Huh? Hold the breath, let it out. Different forms. Look it up online. Talk to a friend, or just play with it and discover what works for you. Positive thinking, and again, two more: selfless acts of service, karma yoga, and what we just had almost for about an hour,
Connection.
connecting.
Ah,
Even
yes,
though you're
we did.
spatially distant, you can have authentic connections if you show up with your real self and allow the
Mhm.
person or persons you're connecting with the respect, time, and space to do the same. Bless up, brothers. I love you, beautifuls. Dr. Wong,
Powerful.
listen, this was one of the best hours I've had in a little while. So thank you. You're amazing. I bless you, sister. I bless you, queen. I bless you, mother. I bless you, entrepreneur, for what you're doing and where it will take you. Continue to be a light, and for the opportunity of giving me a place and a space to share.
Absolutely love it. You are truly a word of fresh air, and we welcome it. And I just again just want to say thank you so very much for coming on the Now Talk Show to express yourself. And boy, did you ever! And we really appreciate it. And all the best in all that you will continue to do. Let me ask you, is there a book in the wing at some point?
Mm-hmm.
Would you be having a book about yoga or the things that you're most passionate about,
All
how
right.
you
Thank you so much
overcome?
again.
Okay, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, one more time, I thank you again for joining us on the Now Talk Show. And we thank Mr. Hector Johnson, who has come on this platform just to really express himself. I'll remind our audience that the Now Talk Show is a safe platform for men to express themselves. The voice of men brings order, and that's exactly the mission of the Now Talk Show. So we thank you so very much again, Mr. Hector Johnson, for coming on to express yourself based on all the
Oh, one
information,
more thing,
text.
Dr. Wong, because I know you're
Okay.
specifically speaking with men. So when you're
Yes.
done, I'll wait.
Okay. Well, I was just basically wrapping up, just saying to our audience, should you know a man out there who has overcome, who has a story, we're most interested to hear that. This is a safe platform for men to express themselves. We are looking for the trials and how they've
I
overcome
just want to
their
say something.
triumphs. Go ahead.
I'm assuming what I got from that is how did I become the man I am now from a child? No? Yes?
No, I was saying the
No.
now, no, the Now Talk Show is a safe platform for men to come and express themselves. The power to move things has to do comes from the sound of a man. So this is a safe platform, and I would like to take the opportunity to extend an invitation to men who are watching, or a wife or friend of a man who has a story we would like to hear, because of course your story, what you have expressed for sure has encouraged a man, a community. in order for them to stop living fear and live by faith. So this is what the platform is designed for men to express themselves. And as ladies, as women, you're giving us the opportunity to know more about you, your
Right.
intelligence, your emotions, how you think. We're gathering information, and this we know how to love you more, how to comfort you, how to embrace you, how to bear your dreams and your children, and cohesively maintain a family. But all of
Right.
this happen when men speak, so we can connect.
I think it's amazing. I think once people can authentically show up in your life, so
Yes.
whatever it is from A to Z, so heterosexual, homosexual, lesbian, bisexual, transgender, asexual, whatever the things are from A
Mm-hmm.
to Z, if we
Right.
can authentically show up as men and not hide, nothing down low, nothing hidden, and just say, this is my light, this is my liberty, this is my love. It may
Mm-hmm.
change, it may never change. Then the women in our lives, the men in our lives, the women and the men in our lives, or if
Mm-hmm.
we decide that I was with someone for a period and now I just enjoy being by myself, and I've done that
Mm-hmm.
for the last 40 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whatever your story is, the platform you're giving us as men is amazing,
Thank
because
you.
what you're saying is you're saying to the world, this, I thought that was going to be one of the firecracker scratch bombs, but it's not. But I was waiting for the button like boom, but there's no boom. Anyhow, but you're giving us a platform so folks can see the varying
Mm-hmm.
aspects of what a man could be or is or isn't.
Right.
And then the women in our lives in the
Mm-hmm.
various forms and labels that they represent and the various relationships that we have with them: lover, confider, mother, aunt, co-worker, boss, servant, um, confidant, challenger, whatever it is, mentor. Then women are then, because at the end of the day, listen, this is a bodysuit. You understand? It's a
Mm.
bodysuit. Women got a penis inward. The man's penis come outward.
Yes.
Strip it all away. Mind you, you have a womb. We don't have a womb. Stripping it all away. Really and truly, we are made up of 10 billion trillion atoms, which make molecules. Molecules make cells. Cells make tissues. Tissues make the organs within
Mm-hmm.
our body, which makes you and I, Dr. Wong, the organism. But all of that has a je ne sais
Yeah.
quoi-ness in it, a spark, which is
Right.
the
Yes.
breath of life, the connectivity, the energy, the thing that when we come out of this in death, we return to whatever. Now, we can fight over labelings, and that will take a while, because then there's the Muslim perspective and the Catholic perspective and the Christian perspective and the Seventh-day Adventist perspective and the Baha'i faith perspective and the Buddha perspective and the agnostic and the atheist and at the end of the day, all I want is what we're having right now. I want real, authentic connections that enrich and fill my cup. Fill my cup, Lord. I lift it up,
Lift it up,
Lord.
Lord. We're gonna sing out.
Right?
What an
But you
amazing
understand?
interview with
It's
you.
come and quench this thirsting of my soul. But is it just the Lord I'm singing to? Or is it the universal consciousness? Or is it the Shiva? Whatever your thing is, if you can create space and hold space,
Mm-hmm.
feed me till I want no
No
more.
more.
Right? So
That's
you
right.
create that atmosphere for the
Mm-hmm.
intangibles to show up in your life and lay upon you, or uprise to come forth out of you, or combo, or whatever. Then you're an unstoppable force. And you can do as
Wow.
this brother says, who transpired 2 days ago, reminding us in his speech in 2018. Remember purpose. We're not here by mistake, which is
Mm-hmm.
why we need to stop wasting time and do the
Right.
work and
Do
show
the
up
work.
in our lives and in the planet to make us all better. Me done. There are nothing else to say.
Again, Mr. Hector Johnson, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much for joining us on the Now Talk Show. We have an email address should you know of him, and I'm sure you do. I'm sure you do. You know one distinguished gentleman, and I'm sure he knows it's connected to another and another and another. We are interested to hear your story. So please reach out to us at the Now Talk Show drnwong@gmail.com. We'd be more than happy to schedule you in terms of hearing your story. We're excited to make the connection with you. Mr. Hector Johnson, we're out of time. Oh my goodness.
Dr.
But,
Nadine Wong,
but
thank you, sister.
this truly has been an interconnection that I'm telling you, it's worth, it will bring forth good fruit because you had nothing but love. And if we do everything like you've said before, and at the end of the day, we don't love, this is word, this is the word, we
Yeah.
truly don't have any fruits. We truly have nothing to live
Yeah.
forward to. So I thank you again for your time. And again, to all those who are from Trinidad, in Trinidad, happy, happy, happy Independence Day to you.
Thank you, Daddy.
And that's it for this evening. Thank you again. I'm your host, Dr. Nadine Wong. Have a good evening.
Bye. Bless up.